launched in the first quarter of next year. Some 8,500 people took part in this year's run. Minister in the Prime Minister's office and PA's Deputy Chairman Lim Swee Say was also present. $1.1 million has also been raised for the POSB Passion Kids Fund. Singapore's largest soapbox derby event, Race Me, is back for its second run. Organised by MediaCorp, 50 teams put on their crash helmets today to race for the top prize of $3,000. Now, that's not an ordinary police car chase. That is the team from Channel 5 drama Mata Mata taking part in the celebrity race. Our own Channel News Asia team also gave it their best shot. To up the ante this year, the race was moved to an outdoor track at the National University of Singapore. And there was no lack of creativity. The soapbox cars came in all shapes and sizes. And while the teams were primarily judged on speed, some also walked away with the titles of Best Dressed and apparently Best Crash.
Very colorful, very interesting to see, very rare to see this kind of events.
It's really fun, and the course itself is pretty challenging. There's a lot of speed bumps, the carts are pretty hard to handle. There's a lot of fun.
If you look at the crowd today, they are actually very enthusiastic, and more so because this year we are tying up with TV 50th anniversary, and we have brought out all the stars and the crowd will enjoy it.
And on that note, this has been Singapore Tonight. And thanks for your company. Good night. Oh, stay tuned for That's IT Uploaded, which is coming up after this break. And front and center tonight is Samsung's Galaxy Gear smartwatch. Timothy Goh checks out the features and finds out if this can be a game changer in the battle for mobile technology supremacy.
Monday on AM Live.
A look at iron deficiency and heart failure. What's the link? We find out more from new research.
La Traviata, one of Giuseppe Verdi's most popular operas, is back in town. What is its appeal to audiences in Asia?
And just how tough is Panasonic's latest tablet? Our reviewer puts it to the ultimate stress test. That and much more Monday on AM Live.
Monday. 63 gun massacres in the US over the last 30 years.
These tragedies must end, and to end them, we must change.
But what's hindering America from kicking its gun addiction?
The purpose of owning one of those is that you keep your enemy as far away.
So, this is the gun I bought.
No test, no questions asked.
And is there a cure before the next tragedy strikes?
The big bad wolf is standing at the door.
Panorama, Monday at 8 p.m. on Channel News Asia. When news breaks, you need to know now. Getting the latest information is crucial because it is personal and social. In this complex world, you need an online and mobile experience to help you better understand Asia and the rest of the world anytime, anywhere. The new channelnewsasia.com. Also available in the Channel News Asia app for iOS, Android, Windows, and BlackBerry.
In 2012, close to 28,000 couples in Singapore said I do. That's the highest number of marriages in Singapore in the last 50 years. Cause for celebration? What if those numbers told only half the story? And what if we told you that love really isn't priceless? The Economics of Marriage on It Figures, the stories behind statistics. Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. on Channel News Asia.
Identity confirmed. All access granted. That's IT. Starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone, That's IT is in Berlin this week for IFA. That's the, let me check my note here, International Funkausstellung Berlin, or the International Radio Exhibition Berlin, one of the oldest electronics trade show in the world, which started back in 1924. A very historic place, and a place where Samsung makes its own history. This was where the world's first phablet was announced in 2011, the Samsung Galaxy Note. And again this year, IFA serves as the backdrop for a historic announcement of what would be the world's first mainstream smartwatch.
Welcome to the future.
Many of us grew up watching movies depicting a future where people speak to their watches. Well, that future is fast upon us, September 25th to be exact. That's when Samsung's Galaxy Gear smartwatch hits store shelves in 149 countries. So what exactly can it do? Well, some may say its functions are limited, but give it a break. It's just a wristwatch that happens to be smarter than the Rolex. The Galaxy Gear runs on Android and has a built-in storage capacity of 4 gigabytes. It can notify you when you receive SMSs, emails, and calls, and other messages. And the great thing is you can respond to them. Accept it or ignore it. It is up to you. And if the 1.6-inch OLED screen is too small to read when you do, just whip out your Note 3 and it will be open on that very same email you were already reading. There is a built-in speaker located at the clasps, and you know what that means? Yep, it means you can use it to answer a call.
Okay, I gotta go for now. Well, that's how you talk on the Galaxy Gear. All you have to do is bring it up to your mouth, the speaker is right there, and you talk.
But industry watchers are approaching the smartwatch with cautious optimism.
But then again, of course, in real-world use, you'd have to be in a quiet room, not too noisy environment, so it's not always applicable, and I don't think you can do that while walking down the street.
The 1.9 megapixel camera is located next to the screen, and it's as easy as going to the camera app and tap to take a snapshot. Good for discreet picture taking, but surely questionable when it comes to privacy. Unlike previous attempts at smartwatches, the Galaxy Gear works in conjunction with the Note 3 and the Note 10.1 linked via Bluetooth. The Note 3 is much improved from the last version. For starters, the stitch and faux leather finish give it a more premium feel. It's also been made to multitask even better, giving users the ability to open 2 windows of the same app. Very useful when chatting with many friends. The Note 3 was built around the tap, circle, and box movements. Tapping the S Pen anywhere on the screen brings out the menu. Circling a part of a document or website saves it directly to your archive. And drawing a box brings up your often used apps displayed right away. Samsung is hedging the take-up of the Galaxy Gear on the popularity of the Galaxy Note series, but eventually, Samsung says the Gear will be made compatible with older model Galaxy S's and Note.
I recently met up with Steve Wozniak. He's the other Steve of Apple, and we talked about a lot of things, among them, the smartwatch. Listen to what he thinks it should be. What's your position on wearable technology?
Some time ago, I started wearing my iPod Nano as a watch. Well, not as a watch, but as music on airplanes. And I wear it on every airplane flight, and I'm traveling constantly. And as I scrolled on it, I would go back and just tell my wife quietly and my close friends, I want a full phone. I want my full iPhone. My internet experience, when Siri came out, I want to speak to this right on my wrist. I want to get the answers without having to pull the phone out of my pocket. And I started saying that even in speeches I was giving. So I'm very delighted, and I'm hopeful that Apple really has an iWatch. I don't know if that's true or not, but boy, I tell you, I want the entire Siri internet experience that much closer to me.
Technology has been moving fast, too fast almost, that just as you're getting used to some new innovation, something new comes along. How do you cope? Someone like you, or how can we cope?
It always drives me bananas, but actually I think back, and it's been this way for 40, 50 years. So with smartphones, man, it has been so wild. The new features, and they have all the sensors of the world in, and the screens are getting more and more beautiful, bright, colorful, colors right, and resolution. But then, you know what? I'm all of a sudden starting to feel that the latest, hottest smartphone, I see it, and it's pretty much like the same world as the last one. And I see the newest one from Samsung or HTC or even Apple, and it's not that huge a change in our lives as the other ones were.
Do you think there's room in the world for more players apart from Apple and Samsung who's dominating right now?
Well, I think everybody believes that. It'd be stupid to say, no, there's only room for Apple and Samsung to dominate. Mm-hmm. I think that people notice really great products at a great price and they spot these things, and there's still ways for a lot of other players to break in. Now we've seen HTC is having trouble cracking it that largely with their HTC One phone. We've seen the Microsoft phones, the Nokia Lumias,
which are good phones.
Which are great phones, actually. They're all great phones. Every one of these products is a great phone. And they've had trouble getting the acceptance. If you were to base what features do you have, what qualities do you have, and you did a spreadsheet, they'd be right in there as a big equal player. It's tough, it's the world of marketing and business. I prefer to stay at the technology end and enjoy all the product. You know what? You can exist and make a profit and have a good-sized business, and it doesn't mean you have to be the big player in the world.
In the world of in-flight entertainment systems, Singapore Airlines has always been on the leading edge. And with its new Boeing 777-300ERs coming into service this month, SQ once again pushes the bar higher with in-flight entertainment. Panasonic Avionics' new EX3 will debut on Singapore Airlines' new Chris World, and according to the airline, it will be the most advanced in-flight entertainment system to date, with larger touchscreen displays across all classes and, for the first time, touchscreen handsets. One of my concerns in having a touchscreen in economy class is the possibility of disturbing the person right in front of me when I'm making my choices and pressing on the screen really hard. But Singapore Airlines says it has an answer for that.
You are quite right, Tim, in the sense that when a passenger or customer touches the screen, it might disturb the passenger. But today, with the new technology, this concern is actually not an issue anymore, because it is actually very sensitive, and with the sensitivity, the touchscreen will not be disturbing the passenger.
But what really caught our attention is the system's ability to multi-screen. Now you can watch a movie on the main screen in front of you and browse news headlines or other Chris World offerings on the handset without having to pause what you are watching. And while you multi-screen, why not rate or recommend what you're watching too, so that other passengers will know what's good. The new Chris World IFE will be found on SIA's new seats on its new Boeing 777-300ERs, which will be in service this month. Singapore Airlines says at the moment, the touchscreens on business class and first class screens will be switched off because, well, as you can imagine, the screens will be too far away for you to touch anyway. But the touchscreen on the remote control panel will be fully functional. And we've come to the end of the show this week. In Berlin, I'm Timothy Go. That's it.
That's IT.
On Cancer Warriors.
I think that I may die of it, but I want to recover.
Their determination for life would see them through their darkest hour.
I said my mother that she is a cancer warrior. She is a general.
Two individuals and one incredible battle. On Cancer Warriors, Wednesday at 11:30 p.m. on Channel News Asia.
This program is brought to you by Parkway Cancer Centre.
Why is this issue of NS such a hot topic?
Okay, I think it's normal for people to, to want something, to want other people to share their pain. I mean, so in a nutshell,
misery loves company.
Misery loves company. So, for example, especially in the job market here, probably Singaporeans feel they're disadvantaged because, they have to serve 2 weeks of reservists or sometimes 3 weeks. And then for those people that are exempted from NS, like PRs, it's like, why? It's not fair, that I have to go through it and you don't have to go through it. And then some people have this misconception that employers tend to employ PRs more because they don't have to serve NS, because it doesn't disrupt work-life balance.
I actually agree. I agree completely on this one. I want to do NS because I get taxi drivers every go, Angmo, you don't do